Alright guys, here's the sketchbook. It's an 80 sheet fashion journal, so I guess its intended purpose is for fashion designs and light work, but I was able to do some heavier things with ink. So without further ado, let's go and get right into it. So for the first page, it's actually blank because I wanted to have a really awesome first page. And I wanted to think about it a little bit more before I committed to something. But I wanted to draw something. So I went to the second page and I liked this drawing so much that it became the official first page. So I decided not to go back to the first page and make this the first page. So this is the very first drawing I did here back in August of 2016. It's I used my brother as a reference. We were at the airport in Dominican Republic back then, and I really love how this came out. The swirls, I'm a sucker for swirls, and yeah, I just love working with pen. I think it's the most versatile tool. You know, you can go really dark, really light, and you can just, and it's, you know, with one tool you could accomplish a lot. This is a quick sketch I did in class one day. I had really tight jeans on and I was feeling really bloated. Here's another pen drawing. Most of the drawings in here are ballpoint pen drawings. I didn't finish the curls, but it looks pretty cute in the front. Here's some more ballpoint pen drawings. So this one was really kind of to capture the mood. I did this while I was in class, and I remember I was so tired. I was so sleepy, so I tried to capture that. I usually start my drawings with like the eyes, and then I build out around it. And this was the sentiment: why am I even here? And you can see my notes, like they're not even legible, like they're literally scribbles. Like that's how tired I was. Here's another ballpoint pen drawing I did. I think I also started this one with the eyes and built it out, and I really like how this came out. Again, you can see like with the pen you can achieve so much dark but also lights and gradients and cross hatching. There's just so much you can do with pen, and I just love how it looks, and best of all that it doesn't smudge, unlike pencil. So I like how that came out. Here's another capture the mood kind of drawing where, again, I was feeling so tired, and like there'd be days where I would rest my hand on my face like this and just feel like melting or like falling apart. So undergrad was really tiring and really dark days. So I'm glad we got through that. But yeah, that's what I was, remember I was feeling that. And I like the idea behind this and the concept. I don't really like how it was executed. I think this could become a better project, a bigger project that's a little more refined. This was something I was just kind of feeling a little creative, and you know, again, I'm a sucker for swirls. I just love how they look. And the plan was to do, you know, fill in all the spaces in here in black, but this just took so long that I decided not to, and I would just leave it like that. Here's another ballpoint pen drawing I did. I really like this one a lot. Again, I started out with the eyes and built out from there. And I based this one off of me. I remember it was a Friday night. I was very tired by the end of the week, and drawing was, you know, I look forward to drawing. And I have this red hoodie that I wear at home. But I tend to revert to these kind of shapes instead of doing smooth shading. And I think it just looks more, I don't know, maybe Picasso-ish, and more interesting. I like how it looks. So this is one of my favorite drawings in the sketchbook. Here it's blank because we have a collage here. So these are they go together, these two pieces. I do have a video on the process of this, so you can definitely check that out if you haven't already. But it's basically kind of like a sexual harassment piece where, you know, most of us girls have to look over our shoulders when we're walking home at night or even in the daytime, really. And it's pretty terrible, really. And if you feel like you're being watched or followed, or just this constant state of feeling uncomfortable as a woman in today's society is something that needs to be addressed. Here's an outfit of the day. I drew it, but like anatomy wise it's kind of weird. I don't really like how it looks, and I kind of just left it as is. The outfit was pretty cute, I'm not gonna front, but yeah, I just didn't really do much with that. This outfit of the day though, I actually colored digitally, so I'll show it to you guys here. And I really like how it came out. I was wearing one of my favorite shirts, and yeah, I really like how this came out. I think it's super cute. Outfit of the day drawings are always a lot of fun to do. Here's another ballpoint pen drawing. I found this reference online, and the eyes were so striking that I was like, I just have to do this. And so I started with the eyes. And I like how the eyes look, and my intentions were to make this like a realistic kind of drawing, not so much with these patterns that I usually revert to, but I just couldn't help myself. And just sometimes you just can't deny who you are as an artist, and I ended up falling into those patterns anyway. And I'm not completely crazy like from the bottom half of this drawing. Like, I love the top half, but the bottom half I'm not too crazy about. But overall, I think it's pretty good. Here, I wanted to see how well the sketchbook would take oil pastels, and I was just craving to work with them. So to be honest, this is the only oil pastel piece I have in here because they just didn't blend that well. It was really quite a struggle, and I just did not like the process. Overall, I think this is cute. I mean, it worked here, but this didn't come out the way how I had it in my mind. Here's an expression piece. I wanted to practice expressions and teeth, so I made this face and I took a photo of myself, and I drew it, and I really love the colors, the entire thing. This is all done in color pencil, so even the hair, I pressed down really hard with the pencils to make it as solid as possible with no whites. Color pencil is really not my favorite medium to work in. I don't really like working with color pencils, but I do like being able to achieve this kind of color blendy look, and not having to worry about it bleeding to the other side. Here's another piece I really like. This is a mixed media, so the hair and the top are actually from a magazine image that I cut out. So I did the drawing, I cut out the hair and the top and put this magazine piece behind it. And she kind of looks like a Bratz doll, which is fine with me because Bratz were my favorite. So yeah, I think this is a really cute one. Here's a pair of feet. So these are supposed to be my mom's feet, but all I really got down was a sketch, and then she moved. So as far as the shading, I just kind of had to do that from memory and from imagination, and I think they look pretty good. I like how the toes came out, but like this bottom part doesn't make too much sense, but I think it's pretty good, all things considered. This is a sketch I did in class of my sweet, wonderful friend Rosa, that she used to sit diagonal from me, and she had her beautiful, luscious ponytail. So I decided to sketch her instead of taking notes, and I really like how it came out, so I took it out from my notebook and pasted it here. And then here are just some expressions I was trying to practice with. I mostly like this one, and I was also trying to play around with the scribble shading technique, because if you can pull that off, it looks really cool, and I like how that looks. This is the same class that I drew Rosa in. This is what I was able to get of the professor, who was a very sweet, kind, very knowledgeable old man, and I was able to get this while he was talking instead of taking notes again. I learned a lot in the class, guys, don't worry. But yeah, it was a good doodling time as well. This is something a little more experimental, I guess. I just, kind of wanted to see where it would go. Like, here's some glasses. The nose looks like a tree. There's trees down here, but it could be maybe a beard. I don't know. I didn't really have any intentions with this. Just kind of wanted to see how it would go. And I think it looks pretty cool, given it didn't really have any thought process to it. So this, I actually did these in class also in undergrad, and I was inspired actually by Atlantis, that scene where there's those floating heads and they start falling. I was thinking of that, and I really liked how these came out, so I wanted to do an entire page like this, and I actually like these two more than the entire page, but I think it looks pretty cool, and I tried to get some different expressions within here, so if you look really hard you can find them. This is, you see, so here's that scribble kind of method I was trying to pull off, and I think it looks pretty good. Here, this was a young gentleman that I met a few years back that looked really sad and like he was having a really hard time, and I regret not asking him what was wrong, and I never saw him again. So when I got home, I just felt the need to draw him because I kept thinking about him, and I just wrote, I hope you're okay. Then here is a sketch of a dog. This is one of my friend's dogs that I turned into a painting for her going away party when she moved back to her home state. So I'll show you guys the painting here. I'm really happy with how it came out. I think it's one of my favorite paintings, actually. I love the colors, and I think it looks very beautiful, especially since drawing animals is not, my area of focus. These are some random sketches that I didn't do anything with. Some notes for some projects that I also didn't do anything with. Here's a gentleman that I saw on the subway. He had a really nice hat, and I felt compelled to sketch him. So it's not a Devin Rodriguez type of subway drawing, but a subway drawing nonetheless. Here's a sketch I started doing of my brother, but he moved like literally like after 30 seconds, and I couldn't do anything else with it, so it just stayed there. This is a sketch I did after a beach day that I went with my family. We had a really nice day and my hair was looking great, so I did this sketch when we came home, and I also painted it digitally, and I really like how it came out, so I'll show you guys here. I think it's super cute, and yeah, I just really like this one. I also really like this piece here. This is also a mixed media piece, so the background it's squash, the yellow and the white, and the clothes is actually from a magazine cutout, and it's kind of hard to tell, but this part is a ship. It's the bottom of a ship, like from the front underneath. So I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I really like how this piece came out. And then this article I found from The Week magazine in the obituary section. So this is from about Kalman Aaron, who died in 2018. And so he was the artist who drew to survive the Holocaust, and he just has this very inspiring story of how he would draw portraits of, I believe, of the Nazis for, to survive, for extra rations of food and what have you. And yeah, it's just a really inspiring story of, what you have to do to survive and how he used his talent to do that. So yeah, definitely look him up for some more info on that. So I wanted to include that in my sketchbook here. And here's another ink drawing, a ballpoint pen that once again I started with the eyes and then just built it out. I wanted to, kind of get an interesting expression and really get a sense of movement from here. And I like how this came out too. So here is an OC and a fan art. So Lottie is an OC that I made, an original character that I created years ago when I was like 13 from the Naruto universe. And I decided to revisit her and give her an updated look. So here's I colored her digitally. So here's what it looks like digitally colored. And I think I may draw her again in the future, but I'm not sure yet. And then here is beautiful Deku, who has completely stolen my heart that I am just so in love with from My Hero Academia. So when I started watching, I was like, I just have to draw him in some capacity. He's a little stiff here, but I think he's so freaking cute. Here's another ink drawing, a ballpoint pen. So everything here is a ballpoint pen except the background. And I like how this came out because it looks kind of almost like a marble statue kind of look. And then I like these shapes in the face and the neck and the curls in the hair. I really like how all that came out. This is my OC Coral, who's just hanging out. I drew digitally, I colored in digitally, so here's how it looks, how the colored version looks. And I think it's pretty cute. And yeah, I gotta draw him some more. Here's some more fan out of Deku. So for this one, I had recently gotten my brush pen, and I wanted to play around with it, see, you know, how thick and thin the lines can go. And I colored this one digitally too, so you could see that here. And I think it looks pretty good. And then here's another, this is a rocker Deku that I was planning on coloring online, but never got around to it and kind of figured I'd just leave here as a pencil drawing in my sketchbook. But I like how, you know, the shoes look and everything. I'm actually really happy with how this looks. Even the hands, I think, look pretty good. This is an outfit of the day that I colored on digitally, and I fixed the face a little bit. The face is it's a little loopy here. So I fixed it in the computer, and I think it's pretty cute. So you can see that here. This is an ink drawing here but I was inspired by Kita from Atlantis because she has those blue tribal marks on her face, and her hair is also like, the layers are cut very like squared and kind of random almost. So I was thinking about that when I did this. And yeah, I remember I started with the eyes and built out from there, and I actually really like how this came out. And it unfortunately bled over into this side, into this drawing. So you can see this paper doesn't, it bleeds easy. And so this, I can show you actually the version before it got messed up. But I drew this after the Parkland shooting back in 2018. I was feeling really sad and really bummed about it, you know, as a young person. You know, I was really empathizing with that, and I just wanted to draw something. And I wrote here, you know, hashtag Parkland, hashtag never again, because hopefully this country will do something about gun control. So that's that. But in other news, here's another outfit of the day that I wore when I went out with my brother and sister for dinner, and we had a really nice time. Here are just some concept sketches of some larger projects that I wanted to do. So here's some praying hands that I ended up using. I actually have a video for this, of the final product of this. If you want to check that out, it actually came out really nice. Very colorful painting. Here, I wanted to do some fan art of Carl Grimes from The Walking Dead, because I really grew to fall in love with his character and just who he had become, but I never got around to it. But I really like this sketch of him, so maybe I'll revisit this. This is probably one of my favorite spreads. It's so colorful and expressive, and this probably has to be my favorite expression from this page. But I love all the colors. It's very has a lot of dimension to it, a lot of movement, a lot of just very vibrant, and I love all of that. This piece is kind of dramatic. I think I was watching a little too much anime. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, I kind of got to this point and then just felt like, I don't know, I kind of just don't want to continue with it anymore. So I don't know, he's going through some dark times and she's trying to help him. And here's just some random expressions. This was an art trade that I was doing with a friend from Instagram, Vic, and I colored it digitally. Looks much better digitally because of course I'm limited to what kind of coloring material, since this paper doesn't hold well, and I don't have that many pens, so that's that. Here's a random sketch from when I was dying of eye allergies, but trying to be like, it's fine, everything is fine. Then here I was practicing a little bit with some gouache paint that I got to see how well the paper would take. And I mean, the final result, it seems to have taken well, but while I was doing it, I just didn't like the process. It was a little too messy for me. Here's just some practice with my my brush pen. When I first got it, I wanted to see, how thick and thin the lines could get and just kind of get a feel for it. And here I was practicing with how to draw clouds. Drawing clouds is really hard. It's something I want to get better at and practice more. And for my first time and for doing it in pencil, I think it looks pretty good. Here are just some random drawings. This is a draw in your own style challenge, which I actually think is really cute. I like how the hair came out. Yeah, I like this one. This was a botched drawing, to be honest. Like, it was coming out good, and then I don't like the mouth at all, and I was thinking maybe I could put a post-it note to cover it and redraw it, but then I figured, sometimes you just gotta know when to quit and when to move on. So I decided to just leave that. The next set of pieces are some from Inktober for a few years. So this is probably one of my faves. I was really intimidated about the hair at first. I'm like, how am I gonna capture curly textured hair with my brush pen? But I think it actually came out really good. I love the face and the folds in the sweater. I think it captured the thickness of the clothes, and I think it came out really good. Here are some random figure drawings of my OC, but here is another Inktober drawing I did with the brush pen, and I love how the hair came out. And a challenge here was trying to know where to leave all the white space, because I didn't want to go in with my white brush pen. I just wanted to use the white of the paper, and I think it looks really, really good. Here's some random figure drawings. Here are some mermaids that I did back in 2018 during Mermaid. So I did this one first, actually, on recycled watercolor paper, and I love how this one came out. I think this one is so beautiful. I loved how the colors blended and the hair's flowing and everything. This one I don't like as much as this one, but I think it's still pretty good. And yeah, I like the pattern going on here. Then here's some more Inktober drawings. I really love how this one came out. I think he looks so good. Like the skin, the hair, the texture. It's very minimalist but very complete, and I really like how this came out. I think this looks really great. Same with this one too. I also really love how this came out. I love this shirt. I just blacked it out and went in with my white brush pen, and for the hair I actually used a dried out marker, which I think really helped in capturing texture for the hair. So I really love how this came out. And here's another mermaid, I think, yeah, 2019, saying, oh, it's May already. So this is just a simple sketch I did at my part-time job one day when it was kind of slow, and I mostly like the hair, very fluffy. Here's an outfit of the day that I did from a few years back, one of my favorite outfits, super cute. This was just a random sketch day. I wanted to just get some ink on the paper and play with my brush pen. And also I got this, my mom got me this metallic Sharpie, the gray Sharpie, but it's not really that metallic-y, so much for that. And just some random doodle I did at work one day when it was slow. And then the next set of drawings are some figure drawings I did, or outfit of the day drawings rather, I did for my 12 days of Christmas, or 12 outfits of Christmas. back in 2018, I believe. Yeah, so that was a really fun challenge, very intensive because you had to take the pictures, pick out the outfits, do the drawing, and then I colored all of these in digitally so you can see them all. But it was such a fun challenge, and I'm gonna see if I could maybe try to do it again. If not this year, maybe next year. But yeah, it was a total of 12 outfits, and I think it gave me some good practice for figure drawing, and yeah, just like, I guess, drawing myself as a cartoon. And so this was the only one I inked, and I wanted to ink all of them here in my sketchbook, but as you can see, it bled through pretty badly, and since all of these are behind each other, I didn't want to mess them up, so I just left them. This was a bad art day where I was really in the mood to draw, and I found a super cool chick on Pinterest, and then I went to draw it and it just didn't come out good. I really don't like that page. Here are some more ballpoint pen drawings. I really like this one. I love how the legs came out and the anatomy. I think the anatomy looks really great, especially the legs. And I like, you know, the shadows, and it's still, but it looks like it has movement. It doesn't look stiff, which is what I'm trying to avoid in my drawings. As opposed to this one, this is a very dynamic pose. But I don't know, I find it a little stiff, or maybe that's just me. And like the anatomy is a little wonky, the folds in the clothes, I don't know if that makes sense. But either way, and I don't like the face either. But overall, I think it's a pretty neat. Here's some practice for men's hairstyles. This is a larger spread that I was planning and actually started coloring digitally, and I haven't finished it yet, but like this is supposed to be like a rainbow, and it's supposed to be like fluffy clouds here in the back, and it's supposed to be like freedom and, you know, very liberating, very beautiful. So I'll have to get to that. Here's another full piece. At this point I was like, I need to practice drawing men more. So I drew this hip looking kid with a really nice hairstyle, and you know, I need to practice doing men's clothes and men's shoes and stuff. So I may color this in digitally, but I'm not sure yet. This is a portrait of my mom that I did back in 2019. She's always nagging me to draw her, and I keep prolonging it because I want to make sure that I'm at my best level as an artist, because her opinion is the only one that really matters to me. So this looks pretty good except for the mouth. The eyes are pretty on point, but otherwise I actually really like this drawing of her. I think she looks beautiful. Here's a sketch I did also here. I just needed to sketch something, you know, like those days where you just gotta draw. So I drew this. I wanted to just like do someone with curly hair and just see how it would go, and I started coloring it online digitally, and yeah, you can see it here, what I have so far. But yeah, that's I need to finish that. Here are some more, so these are some drawings I did in October last year in 2020. I really like this one. I love the profile. I think it's very defined, very beautiful. I love the hair, how the hair came out. And yeah, again, this very simple, minimalistic, but you know, doesn't look incomplete in any way. This is also another simple drawing from October, well actually no, from September, excuse me, of last year. I like the hair, I like the face, how it came out. I think it looks really good. I got very lazy with the top and just did this kind of to complement the stripes of the hair. But yeah, no, this is just being lazy. This is an in-person drawing at the park that I did of my mother. We were sitting on a bench together, and I don't really like it. I mean, I like the top part. I think the top looks good, but she had this long skirt and there were so many folds and it was kind of hard to get them, so I don't really like the bottom part, but yeah, that's that. Here is my sweet boy Tanjiro, who I love and has my heart. I completely botched the face, so I put a sticky note and redrew it, and it looks better now. But yeah, definitely got to redraw him a couple more times because I love him, and I actually really like how this came out. I think it could be better though. Here's some sneakers. I've never drawn sneakers, and footwear is something I want to get better at drawing. I got inspired by Piccolo because he draws. If anybody knows Piccolo, he draws sneakers like a boss, and they look so good. To the point that inspired me to draw sneakers when I don't even wear sneakers. So yeah, this is actually a lot of fun, and I think I'm gonna do it some more. Here's a random Pinterest boy. To be honest, I don't like this page at all. The only thing I like, I think, is the scarf, but he looks super stiff. The hair looks too big. The eyes are too big. I don't like the face. No, I don't like this one. This one I like more, not as much, but I like more. I wanted to practice, just do some figure drawing and some clothing practice. So, did the sleeves and the boots. I wanted to practice doing boots. So I did that here, and I think it looks pretty good. So I found this really pretty photo on Instagram that was in black and white, and I got inspired and thought, oh man, I gotta do this. And I wanted to do something in graphite, just in pencil, because I've been doing almost everything in pen, and it'd been so long. So I was, since the photo was in black and white, I got inspired, and so I drew this. And I think it's so pretty. I love how it came out. I think it looks really good. The girl ended up looking like me because I gave her long curly hair. Not intentional, but yeah, that happened. And here's some sketches. I did this on an envelope during like a Zoom call, and I liked how they came out, so I cut them and I pasted them here. I especially like these two. They look like best friends. Here's a cute mermaid with her bow. He might drown, but I think she'll figure something out for him. I think this is really cute. I had some like gray markers that I wanted to test out, and I'm not quite 100% comfortable with them, so I'm gonna have to practice a little more. But it's a start, and I like how this came out. Now here is my boy Shinzo from My Hero Academia, who has also stolen my heart. And I love how this came out. I gave him this cape and with all these colors because I was using a pen that has purple, pink, and blue all in one. So I used those colors for this, and I think it came out really great. I'd like to draw him a little bit more. And using those colors, I was like, let me try something from imagination, and it's just did not come out good at all. I hate this page. I like the colors, but I hate it, and I wish I would have had something to better complement this page, because I love this page, but not this one. But that's just how it goes sometimes. And here's a super cute girl that I drew with no reference. I just felt like drawing a floppy hat with some flowers, and I think it looks super cute. But I'm not gonna, I was like, I have to color this. It's too cute not to color. But then it's also it's cute as it is. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. Alrighty, and then here we have some studies of menswear. So we have a tight t-shirt, a loose t-shirt, a baggy shirt, and a sweater. And I wanted to practice, showing tightness and folds, as well as fabric thickness. And this study was actually really helpful, and I'm probably gonna have to do more of these in the future. Here are some facial expressions. So here's a neutral face, a very neutral face, almost disinterested, kind of a shocked face, I guess a determined face, and what are you doing, are you serious kind of face. So I just want to practice with some expressions here. Here's one of my favorite couples now that I'm obsessed with. Luca and Marinette from Miraculous Ladybug. I am obsessed with the two of them. I think they belong together. And actually that study of folds helped me with this. That's actually why I did the study, because when I drew this, his clothing was looking so stiff and I was like, I need help. So I did that study, and it made a big difference with just with folds. This I'm probably going to color in digitally, so we'll have to stay tuned for that. And lastly, my mother was always nagging me, and I finally felt confident enough to draw her in my style with pen. And I love how this came out. I think it's beautiful. I showed it to her and she loved it. And what's special for me is that this is the very last page. And yeah, because this isn't anything. This is the very last page. So the last page is a page of my mother, and then the first page is a reference off my brother. So in between all of this, I have my family, which is very special to me. So there you have it.